Hey guys, how's it going? I am so glad you're back for another Sunday at Harbortown Kids Online. Today, we've got a story about some grumbling and complaining. So before we get started, why don't you grab somebody to watch this video with you and tell them about a time you were super happy, but also tell them about a time that maybe you were grumbling and complaining a little bit, okay? I'll give you a minute. Ready? Go find someone, talk to them. Happy time, grumbling time. Okay, now, our story today deals with some people that they focus more on the grumbling times than the happy times. And we're gonna find out what God did with that. It might even involve a snake or two. So before we get started, I need you to go on a little scavenger hunt around your house, grab a couple supplies. You need 4 popsicle sticks or craft sticks. If you need to eat a popsicle or two, go for it, but 4 sticks, some construction paper, glue, stickers. If you got glitter, go for that. A magnet. I think there's a list somewhere on the screen. Just follow that, find it, and when you got it, unpause the video, come back. We're going to learn more about God.
We have so many things to be thankful for, but it's easy for us to forget about that and just focus on all the things that are wrong and all the things we can complain about. When I start to do that, I know that I need to stop and think about all the good things that God has given to me. And one of my favorite ways to do that is through singing, by singing songs of praise to Him, to thank Him. God is the giver of all good things, and we should be grateful for that. So I want you to stand up with me and sing these songs to God.
Let's sing this out. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? Who leaves us breathless? Above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Whoa, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the earth and a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Whoa, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who saw Satan fall like lightning. Yes. And I saw darkness run for cover. But the miracle that I just can't get over is my name is registered in heaven. Hey. I believe in signs and wonders, and I have resurrection power. Yes, I do. Till the miracle that I just can't get over is my name is registered in heaven. Hey. And my praise belongs to you forever. Hey. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Come together, sons and daughters. Hey. Washed with blood and washed with water. Sing the praises of the Spirit, Son, and Father. Our God will finish what He started. Our God will finish what He started. Oh, this is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Yeah. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Sing that out. 'Cause greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Yeah. Greater things still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. You're not done. Greater things still to come. Oh, I believe. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. Oh, I'm alive. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Yeah.
Hey, Megan, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Christina, I'm making a blessing frame.
What's a blessing frame?
Well, so I made this little picture frame, and then on the inside, I'm gonna draw something I'm thankful for. And maybe like hang it on my fridge so I have a reminder of all the things God has given me.
That is so cute. Can I make one?
Yeah, that would be great. And actually, you guys at home, if you grabbed all those supplies, you can make this with us too. All right, ready? So I cut a piece of paper for you to fit, along the edges of the craft sticks. So if you want to go ahead and glue down the craft sticks to make the frame. Yeah, super easy. You guys could show your friends how to do this. Maybe make them together with your friends even. Kind of like we're doing. Oh, yeah.
What are you going to put in your blessing frame?
I don't know. I got this far and I need to think. Oh, there's so many things I'm thankful for. I really could put a lot in there. Maybe my family, my job family, some of my favorite foods. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow, this is awesome. Good job. All right, so she has her frame done.
Yeah.
Now find some stickers. I have some kind of fancy felt stickers, but really you could use any regular kind of stickers.
Great is the Lord. Yes,
Yeah, I've got some
amen.
crosses and hearts. This says prayer power. That's kind of fun. Yeah, great job.
Cross is
You could color the popsicle sticks, really decorate however you want it to be.
This is such a great idea. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're
I'm going to
welcome.
tell my friends so that they can make a blessing frame and tell God how thankful they are.
Right, because we have so much to be thankful for. God has given us so many things. And I know sometimes we forget and we complain about all the wrong things or bad things that are happening. But this blessing frame, if you stick it somewhere you'll see all the time, can be a great reminder of all the things God has given for us. So if you guys make this at home, make sure you take a picture and tag us in it at our Instagram on Harbortown Kids so that we can see what you've done.
It's time for a Bible story. This story begins with a group of people called the Israelites.
I've heard of those guys before. They were the ones that were like slaves in Egypt, and then that one guy was like, let them go. And then the other guy was like, no way, bro. And then God was like, fine then, do the big splash waves, son. Judged and rescued.
Close enough. The Israelites were rescued by God from being slaves in Egypt. And after that, they started traveling across the desert to a place God promised them, called the Promised Land.
That's a good name. Sounds promising.
It was. Their future home was a paradise that God wanted them to live and thrive in, but first, they'd have to get there.
What are you talking about? It's like right next to where they came from. Look at that. What's the problem? I can make that trip in like, 45 minutes? No problem. Give me a helicopter, maybe a dune buggy, throw in a movie, get some big gulps, no prob.
Well, sure, but this was like thousands of years ago, remember?
Right, yes. I forget that a lot, huh?
Literally every time.
Shrug emoji. So what'd they do, like just hoof it across the desert?
Actually, yeah. They set out traveling toward the Promised Land, but traveling on foot like that across the desert was not easy.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I can barely make it across the driveway when I gotta take the trash out.
Well, imagine that, but like a million times farther and in the desert. And instead of just trash, it was like everything you own.
Yowza. Okay, so what happened next?
As they traveled across the desert, God totally took care of them. He provided water when they needed it, food when they were hungry, and protected them from enemies as they went along.
That is awesome. Okay, all right, so they made it across. Case closed. End of story. Roll credits.
Not so fast. The Israelites had one big problem: complaining.
Okay, hold on. Wait, what?
They got pretty ungrateful for everything they'd been given and had some pretty rotten attitudes toward God.
Hold the phone. Let me get this straight. Okay, so God rescued them from slavery.
Yes.
Gives them like food and water in the desert.
Yeah.
Protects them from bad guys.
Yep.
And they're a bunch of grumbly grumbles about it? What a bunch of lame-os.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't great. They sinned against God and basically turned on him. And because of that, they weren't protected like they used to be. In fact, a bunch of snakes in the desert started biting them.
Whoa, yikes. Desert snakes? Oh man, those are like the second worst kind.
Wait, what's the first?
Space snakes.
Ah, of course. Tons of them were bitten by these snakes, and a bunch of them even died.
Oh man, that's rough. So like what happened?
Well, God told Moses, their leader, to make a bronze serpent on a staff and put it in the ground where everyone could see it.
Okay, like a snake scarecrow?
No, not like that. It was like a symbol. God instructed anyone that was bitten by a snake to look at the staff, and they would live.
Okay, cool, all right. And did it work?
Of course. God was reminding them to look to him whenever they got into trouble, instead of just complaining about it and hardening their hearts. And even though we're not in the same kind of situation today, that principle still applies. God has done so much for us when we didn't even deserve any of it. So all we can do is be grateful and continually say, thank you.
Ah, you're welcome, man.
Wait, no, I was saying, like, thank you to God.
Oh, right. My bad. Just a reflex. Hashtag manners.
No worries. So remember, God has done so much for us, and we always want to make sure that we stay grateful and thankful for how much he loves us.
And also, watch out for space snakes.
Yes, also that. The end.
The Israelites were not happy with what God provided for them. They sinned by complaining to God and not trusting him to take care of them. We can trust God to take care of us. God punished the Israelites by sending poisonous snakes. But does that mean God stopped loving them? No, he punished them for their sins, but he also showed them mercy and provided the way for the people to be healed. God told his people to look at that bronze snake and they would be healed. The Israelites faced a huge problem because of their sin. God sent snakes to punish Israel, but anyone who was bitten could look at the snake on the pole and live. Because of our sin, we face a huge problem too. We are separated from God. We deserve to die, but anyone who looks to Jesus on the cross and trusts in him will live forever with God.
Hi boys and girls, my name is Paul, and today we're going to be talking all about, you guessed it, snakes. Now, the first thing to know about snakes is a lot of times when people hear the word snakes, they might be a little afraid, but we know that there's nothing to be afraid of, right? I mean, these guys are actually really beneficial. And so as I talk about them today, I hope that you guys learn that there's really nothing to be scared about snakes, but in fact that we should appreciate that they are outside in nature all around us. So this snake is obviously very pretty. He has these white and different shades of orange on him. And this is a corn snake. And corn snakes are actually really popular as pets. And so people will breed them to make all these different types of patterns and colors. And so if you saw a corn snake in the wild, which they don't really live around here, you got to go a little bit further south to find them. But if you were to find one in the wild, it wouldn't be this bright of a color, because a brightly colored snake might not survive that long, because something like a hawk might come down and eat it, because they'd be really easy to pick out. But through different breeding, that's how you get these bright colors. So again, this is a corn snake, and they're called corn snakes because farmers used to find them in the corn cribs. But they thought they were eating the corn. We now know better that they're not eating the corn, but what they're actually were eating were all the mice that were eating the corn. So as I mentioned, these guys are reptiles, and one thing that makes snakes reptiles is they have scales. So you can see this guy's scales on here. They're all these really pretty different colors. And another thing that makes them reptiles is that, as I mentioned before, they can't control their body heat. They need an outside source like the sun to raise their temperature. And another thing that makes them reptiles is they hatch from eggs. So a lot of snakes, when they lay eggs, they might just leave those eggs, and then eventually the eggs will hatch. So the baby snakes might never know who their mom or their dad was, because the mom will just lay the eggs and then she'll leave, and eventually those snakes will hatch, and then they'll start to grow and they'll start to eat their own foods. Another snake that is common around here that many of you might have seen in your yard is called a garter snake. Not a garden snake, but a garter snake, Garter. And they like to live in our yards, and they like to eat a lot of bugs. So they help control populations of bugs so that when we go outside, we're not bombarded with all these different bugs. And they're really good to have because of that. And they're not really gonna bite. Now they do have teeth, but again, they're not venomous. So their teeth are really small, but they're pretty sharp. So if they were to bite you, because I get that question a lot, will it bite me? And the question really isn't, will it bite me, but more of, can it bite me? Can they? Yes. But you know what? We can bite each other too, right? But we typically don't. And that's the same with snakes. This guy, he's perfectly happy just sitting on my arm. And a lot of snakes you see in the wild might be like that too, but you always need to err on the side of caution. So if you're ever out on a hike or out in your yard, wherever you might be, and you see a snake, the best thing to do is just keep your distance and watch it. Watch what it does. You might learn something about them because you're watching their behaviors and the cool things that they might do. You might even see it catch something and eat something. But if you run up to it and you try to pick it up and things, you're not going to see all those cool things. And if you run up to it and try to pick it up, then it's going to feel scared. And that's when a snake might bite you. It's when it feels scared. So it's best always just to observe them from a distance. Just watch what happens. You might see something really cool. All right, so next time you guys are outside, keep your eyes open, look for some snakes, and even if you don't see a snake, you're still outside in nature. You're gonna see something cool for sure. All right guys, have a great day.
Wow, Did you just learn as much about snakes as I did? Pretty cool, but really creepy. Ooh. If you were bit by a snake today, you'd probably go to the hospital to get help. Do you think the Israelites with snake bites wondered what good it would do to just look at a bronze snake? I wonder if any of them tried to heal themselves. Moses probably told them, "Stop trying to heal yourself. You can't do it. Just look at the bronze snake." All they had to do to live was look up at that snake and they would be healed. We can't save ourselves from sin, so what can we do? We can look to Jesus, who died on the cross for our sin. Some people try to save themselves by doing good things or by avoiding bad things. Does that work? No. We can tell our friends to just look to Jesus and they'll live. Now, this is the time when we celebrate the sacrifice that Jesus made when he died on the cross. During this next song, find something in your house to eat, like tortillas, cereal, or crackers, or anything else to eat, and remember Jesus' body that was given for you. Then find something to drink, and remember Jesus' blood that was given for you. If you're not quite ready to take communion, that's fine. Just grab your journal, maybe write down some things God has given you that you are thankful for. However you're spending this quiet time, use it to thank God for all that he has given us, especially the ultimate sacrifice he made so that we could all be saved.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. 'Cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. Yeah. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. Yeah, I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. Yeah, I worship you. I worship you. Yeah, 'cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yeah. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Sing that out. That is who you are. Yeah. That is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Sing that out if you believe it. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you stop working. You never stop working. And even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Never stop working. Never stop working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. That is who you are. Yeah. That is who you are. That is who you are. It's who you are. That is 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 who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are.
Let's practice our Bible verse together. It's from Joshua 1:9. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. God spoke those words to Joshua after Moses died. God called Joshua to lead his people into the promised land. That was a big job. Do you think Joshua was nervous about leading so many people? Probably, but God told him not to be afraid. Why? Because God was with him. Let's say that verse together one more time. Joshua 1:9. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Thanks, guys, for joining me today at Church Online. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up, but before we do, I'd love you to just drop down into the comment section and tell me something you're thankful for. We always want to take some time to be thankful for all the things God has given us. And if you really want to be extra, go ahead and take a picture of something you're thankful for and put that on our Harbortown Kids Instagram. Before we leave, there's going to be some discussion questions after this. Get mom and dad to pause the video, talk about those with your family, but I'm going to pray, and then you can get to those questions. Fold your hands with me, and let's close our eyes. Hey, God, thank you so much for everything you give us. Thank you for sending Jesus to take away our sins so that we know we have a place with you forever. I pray that you forgive me the times that I grumble and complain, but help me focus on all the joy and the things you give me. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you next week.